Welcome to our channel. From Wicked and Dune, Part 2 to Anora, Boston.com readers and our entertainment writers share their picks for the best movies of 2024. The best movies of 2024, Mikey Madison in Anora, Anya Taylor-Joy in Furiosa, and Zendaya in Challengers. Neon, MGM, Warner Brothers. When considering the best movies of 2024, it's fair to take a moment and consider how the year in film stacks up to others in recent history. The box office numbers have been good, but not great. Two Disney movies, Inside Out 2 and Deadpool and Wolverine, crossed the billion-dollar benchmark at the worldwide box office, and another Disney sequel, Moana 2, may eventually join them. In pure financial terms, the top three movies of 2024 outgrossed the top three movies from 2023, which included Barbie and Oppenheimer. But when considering their cultural impact, those films can't hold a candle to Barbenheimer. The closest equivalent in 2024, Glicked, simply didn't generate the same buzz. And unlike my best movies of 2023 list, which featured both Barbie and Oppenheimer, you won't find either Gladiator 2 or Wicked in this year's top 10. Make no mistake, there were a ton of great movies released in 2024. But due to a mix of shrinking studio budgets and a production backlog stemming from 2023's dual strikes, there were fewer truly excellent ones that will stand the test of time. Doom and gloom aside, I still struggled with making cuts to this final list of the 10 best movies of 2024, a mix of traditional theatrical releases, streaming exclusives, and one midnight movie special. If you ask me next week, my picks might look drastically different. That's partly because there was a deep roster of films to choose from, and partly because I limited this list to movies that have already been released to Boston audiences, saving me the trouble of finding spots for upcoming releases like Nickel Boys, January 3rd, and The Brutalist, January 10th. Other Christmas-time releases like Baby Girl, A Complete Unknown, and Nosferatu are all somewhere in my top 40 as well. Boston.com readers seem to struggle a bit less with their best of lists than I did, to be honest. When we polled readers to find out what they believed to be the best movies of 2024, two films were the overwhelmingly popular favorites. Both of those films finished just outside of my top 10, in part because I wanted to highlight a few underwatched gems to check out while you have a few days off with the family during the holidays. Without further ado, here are the best movies of 2024, as chosen by me and Boston.com readers. There is no better summation of the state of Hollywood in 2024 than the movie Juror No. 2 and the way Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav has treated its director, Clint Eastwood. On a leaked conference call, Zaslav lit into staffers for greenlighting another recent Eastwood film and quoted the villain from Jerry Maguire to justify marginalizing a screen legend who has provided Warner Brothers with 50 years of hit films. Juror 2 is the kind of mid-budget drama that used to play in theaters every single weekend 20 years ago, but the film was dumped in fewer than 50 theaters nationwide for a single weekend before making its streaming debut on Max. A twist on 12 Angry Men, Nicholas Hoult plays a juror who slowly begins to realize he may be connected to the case he is tasked with judging and grapples with the moral dilemma that follows. Unlike the Sidney Lumet classic, there is no Henry Fonda in a white suit speaking up to be the voice of conscience. There is only Holt asking the same question on many Americans' minds: are truth and justice objective, or is power the ultimate arbiter? His Three Daughters is a movie that will likely hit close to home for many of a certain age. Natasha Lyonne, Poker Face, Elizabeth Olsen, WandaVision, and Carrie Coon, The Leftovers, play three sisters whose lives followed different paths but are now forced to make nice in a cramped Manhattan apartment while caring for their ailing father. Lyonne, the stoned slacker; Coon, the uptight, judgmental mom; and Olsen, the conflict-averse yogi, speak to each other in a way that is both strangely stilted but also rooted in elemental truth about familial bonds. Watching them spar is heartbreaking, and watching them bond is hugely affirming. In the winter of 2019, independent filmmaker Mike Cheslick gathered a small team in Wisconsin to make a micro-budget film called Hundreds of Beavers. Set in the rugged frontier of the 1800s Midwest, the comedy chronicles the misadventures of Gene Kayak, a drunken Applejack salesman who must figure out how to trap and kill hundreds of beavers, played by humans in mascot costumes, initially just to survive, but eventually to win his love's hand in marriage from her gruff father.